This green plaque marks the spot where one of London's most fascinating characters lived, Thomas Britton. He sold coal for a living, but music and knowledge were his true passions. Born in 1644, he moved to Clerkenwell, just north of the City of London. He lived on a building on this very site and built a reputation as the musical Coalman. By day he hauled sacks of coal, by night he hosted concerts above his coal store. The staircase leading to his attic was steep and narrow. The ceiling was low, the benches makeshift. One neighbour described the aristocrats who squeezed into this tiny hovel as like sweaty dancers at a buttock ball. Whatever that was. But they kept coming because the music and conversation was so worth it. George Friedrich Handel played the harpsichord there. So did Johann Christoph Pepusch, the composer of the Beggar's Opera.
How happy could I be if either were the other dear charmer away?
Tradesmen, scholars and nobles sat side by side, captivated by the music. Britton himself, with his coal-blackened hands, built his own harpsichord and curated every performance. These concerts ran for nearly 40 years, but Britton's interest didn't stop at music. He collected books, rare and unusual works on theology, science, magic, and all manner of other subjects. He debated with scholars and sought out like-minded thinkers. One of his closest friends was Theophilus Garancière. He was a French physician who also studied alchemy and the mystical. He was the first person to translate the prophecies of Nostradamus into English. Britton would often walk this route along the wall of the old nunnery to Garancière's home in nearby Clerkenwell Close. There they would discuss the esoteric movement of Rosicrucianism and hidden knowledge and their shared belief in invisible spirits. But it was this belief that led to Thomas Britton's downfall. Among his concert attendees was a magistrate called Justice Robe. One day he decided, with the help of a ventriloquist called Mr. Honeyman, to play a cruel joke to scare poor Thomas Britton. After one Thursday performance, Honeyman hid in Britton's attic. While Britton was tidying up after all the guests had gone home, Honeyman suddenly threw his voice across the room.
Thomas Britton, your time is nigh. You must immediately get down on your knees and recite the Lord's Prayer and beg for forgiveness for all your sins.
Well, Britton, hearing this command from an invisible spirit, obeyed. But after rising, he took immediately to his bed in deep, deep shock. 3 days later, he died. His funeral filled St. James's Church in Clerkenwell. Aristocrats, musicians and scholars gathered to pay their respects. This humble coalman had earned the admiration of London's elite. Shortly after, Britton's widow sold his legendary book collection. Sir Hans Sloane acquired many of his rare volumes, which later became part of the British Museum. Now, I mentioned Thomas Britton's wide range of interests, which this book catalogue reflected. Science, black magic, health, bees, exploration, history, religion. But one last category indicated another interest of his, and this included titles such as Cleveland's Rustic Rampant, Petre on Venereal Disease, The Fair One Stark Naked, Young Lover's Guide, The Comforts of Whoring, and Roland on Farting. He certainly kept those quiet during his lifetime. I hope you enjoyed my story of this eccentric London character. Please give it a like if you did. For more fascinating stories of Londoners, please subscribe to my channel, Hello London Life. Thank you. Till next time. Bye.